So our next topic is types of landforms. Okay, what kind of landscapes are actually situated in our earth? First one is mountains, that this is very important features for our land, and a portion of land surface rising considerably above the surrounding country, either as a single eminence or in a range of chain. Okay, so that one mountain will be settled in a place, or there may be a range or a chain of mountain. Okay, and like the Pamir plateau, from here actually various mountain ranges are actually originate and actually extended towards the southeast. Okay, so like this, that Himalaya also originate from the Pamir north or Pamir plateau, and it is extended towards the southeast or direction. Okay, a mountain is defined as a steep sided hill more than 600 meter high. So the mountain's height is more than 600 meter. Okay, and type of mountains, that mountains are often classified according to their mode of formation. So we can divide the mountain into 4 parts, but in your syllabus there have only 3 parts. Okay, fold mountain, block mountain, and volcanic mountain. What is fold mountain? That formation of fold mountains, that mountains which have been thrown into massive folds or ridges by the earth's movement, are known as fold or folded mountain. Okay, so those are actually create a bent like structure, they are called as mountain, fold mountain. Okay, and these movements are primarily horizontal and cause wrinkles or folds. Okay, the arched or upraised parts of the folds are called anticlines, and the upraised part of a fold is called as anticline. Upraised part, it is called as anticline, and the downward fold or inverted anticline are called as syncline. So the downward or inverted anticline, it is called as syncline. So fold mountain usually consist of parallel ranges or ridges. So they are actually consist of parallel ranges, and most of the mountains in the world are fold mountain. So most of the mountains are made due to fold. Okay, and these kinds of mountains are called as fold mountain. So next is characteristics of fold mountain, that fold mountains are characterized by ruggedness of relief. Okay, so that we can see there the ruggedness of relief, and they are arc shaped and mostly constituted of sedimentary rocks, and they are arc shaped and mostly constituted of sedimentary rocks. They are basically formed with the sedimentary rocks. Okay, and they are mostly located on the margins of continents, and the newly formed young fold mountains are higher and have more rugged features like pointed peaks, steeper and deeper slopes than the old fold mountain. Okay, so the old fold mountain, they are less height compared to the young fold mountain, because these are young in nature and their peaks are also very steep in nature, or ruggedness is very high in these places. And fold mountains comprise the largest and most complex system. Example, the Himalayas were formed by this process of horizontal compression or folding when the Indian plate collide with the Eurasian one. So Himalaya is formed also due to the compression of two land. There was the lands Angara land and Gondwana land, and due to the compression of these two land, this Himalaya is actually formed from Tethys geosyncline. Okay, and distribution of young fold mountain in the world. So where we can see the fold mountains, that example of young fold mountains are the Himalayas in India, Rockies in North America, Andes in South America, Great Divine Range in Australia, Alps in Europe, and Atlas mountain is situated in Africa. So these are the mountains we can see in various parts, and these all are young fold mountain. Okay, and beside from this, there have also some old fold mountain, that like these mountains have been subjected to the force of denudation, like for due to weather or weathering, river, glacial, they are formed, and for a long geological period, and they are much lower with rounded peak and gentle slope, and the slope is gentle in nature here, and the peaks are rounded in shape because these are eroded due to various kind of activities. And distribution of old fold mountain in the world, like that the example of old fold mountains, that Appalachian in North America, next is Urals in Europe, so these are the, and Aravallis in India, these all are known as old fold mountain. Okay, next is block mountains. That formation of block mountains are the result of faulting. So due to faulting, the block mountain or fault mountain is actually originate, and when the earth's crust bends, fold occurs, but when it cracks, faulting takes place. So sometime that when the amount of folds are actually extend beyond the extend from the that highest limit, then they actually create a crack or a fracture, and due to this one kind of another mountains are actually formed. They are called as block mountains. And earth movements generate tension force that tend to pull the crust apart and fault are developed. Okay, so and if the block enclosed by the fault remain as it is or rises, the land or on either side subsides. So in this block mountain, what happened, that one portion is actually moved to the upward side, and the middle portion is actually moved to the downward side, and this way they actually formed the block mountain. And if the block enclosed by the fault remain as it is or rises, the land or either side subsides. So one portion is rises and another side are actually subsides, and the upstanding block become the host and block mountain, and the upstanding portion which is compared to the besides the surrounding part, they are situated in the higher position, they are placed as a host, and these kinds of hosts are called as block mountain. An example of block mountains are Black Forest in Germany, Vosges in France, and Vindhyas in India. So these are the example of block mountains. And characteristics of block mountains. So what are the characteristics? That block mountains are steep sided and flat tapped. So the sides are steep in nature. Okay, and block mountains are characterized by massiveness, steep slopes, and comparatively smooth topography. And there we can see comparatively that smooth topography. Okay, compared to the another topography, these are very smooth in nature. And the third one is the volcanic mountains. That volcanic mountains are formed by volcanoes. So from the name we can say that this kinds of mountain is formed due to volcanoes activity, and all volcanoes from an expulsion of materials from deep within the earth in the form of enormous amount of lava or ash, which piles up on the earth's surface, forming a mountain. And many of the world's great mountains were formed by volcanoes, and various or many of the world's mountain is formed due to the volcanic eruption, and such as Kilimanjaro in Africa, Mount Fujiyama in Japan, these are very famous mountains. And since volcanic mountains are formed by accumulation of volcanic material ejected from the bowels of the earth, and they are also known as mountains of accumulation. Okay, and what are the characteristics of volcanic mountains? That volcanic mountains have comparatively gentle slopes. Okay, so gentle slope in nature, and during the eruption volcanoes released gas, ash, solid rocks, and lava. And in the time of volcanic eruption, they sometimes release the various kind of gases, ash, solid rocks, and lava. And if the lava is acidic, the dome is high and slopes are steep. And Fujiyama of Japan, these are actually example of these kinds of volcanic mountain, that lava is acidic, dome is high, and slopes are very steep. And if the lava is basic, the height of the dome is low and the slope are gentle. And example, Mauna Loa in Hawaii Island, this is this kinds of mountain where we can see that the slope are gentle and dome is low. Okay, height of dome is low.